Hello and welcome to the end of your Inner Matrix group. What a journey that it's been, I hope. Hopefully it's been transformative for you. You've seen some significant positive shifts and changes occurring for you. Hopefully you know yourself better than when you started. You see how you've been creating different outcomes in your life. And definitely, hopefully you feel empowered around the way that you think and can direct your mind and the emotions that you feel. As we wrap up, it'd be great to just take a moment and a little bit of time and reflect on what your journey has been. Start with reflecting on some of the key takeaways that you notice have unfolded as a result of moving through this journey, going through the 5 weeks of your Inner Matrix group. What positive shifts and changes have occurred for you? What benefits have you seen unfold as a result of the journey that you've taken? Perhaps mentally, you notice that you're catching your mind more frequently when it's thinking things that are not creating the optimal outcomes that you'd like to have in your life, and perhaps even able to start redirecting those thoughts. Perhaps you're noticing that the way your thinking is occurring now is such that it's already aligning with the outcomes that you choose to create, and maybe the physical manifestation of those outcomes that you really like to see have occur. Maybe they haven't manifested yet, maybe they have, but perhaps you notice that you're definitely aligning with your vision. Vision fulfilled, as I say. Vision fulfilled is when we're thinking in alignment, we're feeling emotionally in alignment, the sensations in our body, the level of connection that we feel with ourself and spirit is showing up with us in the moment in a way that aligns us with the future outcomes that we choose to create. And then it's just a matter of time before those things manifest. And so as you take a moment and you reflect on the different capacity that hopefully you've accessed as it pertains to your mind, those might be some places to look. Perhaps you're more aware of the way you're thinking. That would be great. Perhaps you're aware that you're already thinking in alignment with a better way, or I should say a way that aligns you with your vision. Maybe you're able to catch yourself thinking and redirect as a result of the work that you've done through the last 5 weeks of your Inner Matrix group. As you look at your emotions, maybe you're more emotionally aware and sensitive to what's present for you. Maybe you're able to notice, wow, I'm feeling angry, and you weren't able to identify that before. Maybe you're able to notice that I'm happy, and you weren't able to identify that before. Maybe you notice that you are now sensitive to a larger emotional range than you had access to before. Before, when I started this journey, I had, as I tell people, I had two emotions. I'm angry and I'm fine. I'm angry, I'm going to rip your head off, and I'm fine, I'm okay. And that was my level of access to my emotional sensitivity. Happiness didn't exist or occur for me. Loneliness, sadness, anxiety, shame, guilt, like those were foreign to me. Those were expressions and feelings that I was having, but I couldn't identify them for myself. And so today I can identify those for myself. And so maybe your emotional sensitivity is increased and you can identify what's going on for you. And I know sometimes that might feel a little bit like a blessing and a curse, because in one moment it's like, hey, I'm aware that I'm hurting, and that kind of, isn't comfortable, right? We may not like that so much, but just remember, it's not that it's new. It didn't just show up as a result of going through the practices that we're guiding you through. You've simply become aware of what was already there. And so it's no longer a silent ghost defining you from the inside out. Now you at least know you're aware that it's there, you know that it's present, and you also have some tools and techniques to do something about it. And so perhaps your awareness and sensitivity to your emotions has increased through this journey. Maybe you're noticing that you're just more at peace. Maybe you're noticing you're more naturally feeling joyful. Perhaps you're more expanded. Maybe you are a little bit more inspired, and you're noticing yourself just occur to yourself in those love-based, more expansive ways, which would also be great. Maybe you're noticing that you're relating to people in your life in a different way. Maybe you were a little bit critical or judgmental of people before, and maybe now as you're showing up with them, you're noticing that there's a warmth and a gratitude there for each of those people that are in your life, and maybe you're even seeing people respond to you in a different and new way. Oftentimes when we do the work of transformation, or we develop ourselves from the inside out, we develop ourselves internally, meaning mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, etc. Oftentimes the changes can be a little bit subtle in the beginning, but yet very powerful. And there's also that event that occurs for people where it's like we're the ones that changed. And so sometimes if you've had that experience in life where you might have grown or you accomplished something, you got really good at something in your life, it just sort of relates to you as though you've always been good at it. And sometimes we forget that it took some work, it took effort, it took focus, it took a bit of practice to get really good at the thing that we're great at, whether it's a career that you're involved with, maybe you're great in sales and marketing, maybe you're awesome inside of a sport, maybe you're really good with numbers and math, maybe you're a phenomenal artist, right? There was a day that you probably were not near as good at those things as you are today. And so it was the journey of that consistent training and application that made excellence possible for you. And it's what will make excellence possible in this place. And so as you've taken your journey, you might start noticing subtle changes, or maybe even significant changes have occurred, but you don't maybe realize that they've occurred because we are always where we are. And so just like, when I got really good at martial arts, I've been training in martial arts for 20 years and I used to compete. Now I just do it to stay in good shape. But I occur to myself as just always having been great at martial arts. But when I think back to when I was first learning, or even 8 years ago, when I first started with my most recent martial arts master or trainer, I was not very good. I was not near as good as I am today. And so I occur to myself with where I am. And so especially with internal changes, we tend to occur to ourselves with wherever we are. And there's great benefit to just affirm and acknowledge the benefit or the growth, the expansion that happens for us, because it can motivate us to stay consistent as we move forward and to be mindful of those beneficial things that are occurring. Pay attention, maybe take some time and reflect and ask yourself, what benefits have occurred for you? What positive outcomes have happened? Maybe your relationships are shifting in a positive way, and just own a few of those things for yourself. What I find is people tend toward being overly critical. Right? They tend to be a little bit overly critical of themselves. When we look at the things that we're doing well, we tend to go, oh, you know what, I think I could do that better. I need to improve by doing X, Y, and Z. And then we tend to be immediately hard on ourselves around places we could improve, right? We're overly critical when it comes to those things that maybe we could improve on, and we tend to beat ourselves up over those things. And so I find that the formula of acknowledging what we do well, acknowledging the things that we have accomplished, and then going, hey, this went really well, this is good, I did a great job here, and then asking ourselves, how could I improve and do it even better than I'm already up to it, tends to accelerate our journey and transformation and has us perform better, right? Positive reinforcement is always more beneficial than negative reinforcement when it comes to creating change or creating transformation in our life. And that's true as we do self-talk with ourselves, and it's also true if we're working with colleagues at work or we're parenting children. Negative reinforcement tends to make situations worse, and we get the opposite of the outcome that we're looking for. But if we look for the things that are going well and we acknowledge them and then we build on them, that is the recipe for making sure that we get to the places and have the experience of life that we really choose. And so acknowledge the things that have gone well for you here. Give yourself a pat on the back, so to speak. Define the benefits that occurred. Claim it for yourself, right? Give yourself credit for that. And then go, hey, things went really well here. This is what went good. And now how can I expand on what's already going well? So think of it as good to good or good to great rather than bad to good, right? We always want to be in that theme of this is what went well, this was the benefit, this is what was good, and this is how I make it great. This is how I do even better. And so let's stay focused in that way. Name the things, again, that were beneficial for you on this journey, the accomplishments that maybe you fulfilled on, maybe deeper relationships that you started to create. Maybe you have some nice connections if you are doing this as a group. If you took this journey on your own this time with me, that's awesome. Maybe you want to step into a group as your next step and have that shared experience with others as you move forward. Maybe the way you're going to take this from a good experience to even expanding it even more is to maybe facilitate your own group. If you'd like to do that, ask the facilitator that hosted your group on how they might do that, or just reach out to us, email us through the website. We would love to engage with you and support you in leading your own group or facilitating your own group if that's something that you would like to do as a next step. If you know some people that you know would like to have this experience with you, or that you think would benefit as you have by way of taking this journey, perhaps make a list of those people, just reach out to us and we'll provide you a facilitator and take you and your group of friends or colleagues, coworkers, acquaintances, whoever they might be, so you can have that experience and take that journey together. If you experience benefit by way of doing the Intermatrix group once, you're going to notice that that's just going to expand and amplify if you do it a second time. And so remember, as we spoke about in week one, when we talked about education and experience and then following up with training as being a key for sustainable transformation and truly realizing excellence and mastery in our life, ask yourself, what's going to be that next step for me on how I incorporate this as a lifestyle? Just how we incorporate nutrition, and it's a lifestyle for those of us who want to feel good and feel good all the time. It's not like we eat really well for 6 months or a year, lose weight, feel great, and then eat potato chips and Twinkies all day long because we got where we wanted to get. If we want to realize those benefits to continue for us and we want to expand into greater and greater places, we eat well every day. If we want to feel good physically, we want to be strong, we want to be fit, we want to know vitality in the body, we work out, we stretch, we do yoga, we do those things, we do them every day, we move every day. And it's not like you get in great shape and then you just stop moving because you hit your goal, because as we know, we regress and we go backwards very quickly. And so if we want to realize what can be possible for us as an experience of life, we've got to make our internal training and our internal development as important as diet and nutrition. And so we've got you started here with a great foundation, a great system. Please give yourself permission to continue as you move forward and incorporate this as a lifestyle. Maybe you're going to do your 20-minute meditation every day and you're going to take that on as your lifestyle. Maybe you'll continue your daily check-ins. Please step into another Intermatrix group, do a second one, do a third one, do a fourth one, just to continue flexing those muscles, just to continue practicing, getting really good at these techniques. As I said before, I'm a martial artist. I've been training and practicing the very first kick you learn as a white belt, or front kick, for 20 years now. And I still practice the front kick. I'm still working to make it a little bit better, and that's what makes other things possible for me as it pertains to martial arts. And the same thing with my internal practice, right? When I really got serious about moving out of that state of anger for myself and moving into a place of peace and training that within myself, when I took it on as a consistent commitment, that's when I realized something really exceptional occur for me. Not only moving out of that place of anger in the way that it used to show up, where it's almost non-existent now, but I love waking up every morning, right? I used to be the person that it was hard to get up and get through the day every morning, and wondering how it was going to happen. And now I wake up and I look forward to everything that I'm doing, and I'm excited, I feel passionate, and I kind of bounce out of bed. I just had a talk with somebody earlier today, and I called them at 7, and I actually waited to make the phone call because I didn't want to wake them up, and they're like, "You're an early riser." I was the guy that got out of bed at noon and went to bed at 12 or 1 a.m. after partying. And so when I say I've transformed my entire existence through this work, I really have. And I've had the opportunity to train thousands of people all over the world in different countries inside of the same techniques, and it has truly transformed their existences as well. And so as you think about those next steps and how you're going to incorporate this as a lifestyle, if you know other people who are engaged in Intermatrix groups, or you've gotten close with individuals who've been up to this for some time, perhaps your facilitator or the person who hosted your group, I encourage you to go to them and say, "Hey, what does your practice look like? What does your internal training regimen look like? How have you made this a lifestyle for yourself?" And if it's working for them and they've seen some benefits for themselves, it'll most likely absolutely work for you too. And so another way to think about taking that journey, again, number one, please think about doing another Intermatrix group. Maybe you're going to facilitate one and we can help you out with that. Please let us know. If you'd like to bring a group of people together and would like us to facilitate that on your behalf, we'd be more than happy to do that. Just email us and we'll set you up with somebody who can support you in that way. And then make that commitment to yourself to engage that consistent practice over time so that you really make sure that you understand the work, you create an experience for yourself, but then you also train it so that you master these skills and really create something extraordinary for yourself. And so I encourage you to reach out to your group host, the one who facilitated with your group, and just ask them, like, what does their training look like? What are they doing to train themselves inside of transformation? Please take these to heart, continue your journey, and I look forward to hearing about and meeting you and telling, listening to you and having you tell me the story of transformation that occurred for you as a result of this work and engaging these practices. I look so very forward to meeting you one day in person. Please come shake my hand. Would love to meet you. Have a beautiful rest of your day and look forward to your next steps.